Hello and welcome to Chat G and G. He's Grizz.
And he's Gags.
How you doing, my brother?
Where I'm all right. We're good. You're colder than me. I'm warmer than you. I'm hotter than you. You know, that's normal though, isn't it? Come on. We already know this. We already know this. But yeah, I was thinking about you today.
What are you?
Like I always think about you anyway.
And yet you're the hotter one.
No. I tell you why. But no. Please. There's a negative connotation to this, right? I was scrolling through the Twitter timeline as you do, and I didn't like it. All I could read was so much negativity and defeatism. And our show last week came to mind where we had a chat about sort of our fears, the sort of how we thought the season is going to pan out in the next couple of months, fatigue and all of that stuff. And I thought, yeah, today's show was probably going to be an extension of that. Do you feel a bit of a negative vibe around Liverpool and everything else right now?
Massively.
Okay.
Massively. I think it's all gone Pete Tong since the United game. There was a massive negative storm after that result. And, players going nuts on it. VVD was really angry with other players. And then Mo, coming on Twitter and back chatting Cara, which was out of character. So I personally think, showed that we're a little bit rattled at that point, and the performances since then kind of give me the evidence that they are rattled, and until we scored an equaliser, that is, at Forest, and seems like 2025 came alive at that point, because that was a Liverpool that I haven't seen or in the last 2 weeks, 2025, since West Ham, in that last 25 minutes against Forest. Really, really good 25, like fantastic, I would say, 25 minutes. But very worrying, right? Very worrying in terms of everything before that. The Spurs game, the United game, even though we were the better team, wasn't just ourselves. And then Forest, for 60 minutes, they just had the plan to stop us creating anything amazing until we shut their crowd down with an equaliser. And then it was all guns blazing, and they were just, the keeper had a great time and their defenders had a great time, but blocking on the line. But otherwise, I just think there's something not right. Whether it's the players wanting support in terms of more players contracts not coming up, no signings on the horizon. Just from a fan base perspective, it just looks a bit grim with the last two results as well. Grizz at the end of the day, especially in the Premier League, and Arsenal now could have been 11 points clear. Now we're 4 points clear. So, it's one of them. It's one of them. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to. I said from the start, at least from middle of December, like you said, that if we do not sort out the squad and help them in the first couple of weeks of Jan, there could be a possibility. Now, the good thing is they look really good in the last 25 minutes against Forest. So I have to bring that into, I can't just ignore it, right? If they can rest against Lille, like we've been saying, PSV, then Plymouth after that, there's at least 3 or 4 weeks there where it's one game a week for the majority of the squad. So I think that's the only thing that could, and the fact that 6 of the bottom 8 have to come to Anfield. That's another positive. So needs to be 18 points out of 18 there, no matter what. Then it starts to become a little bit more, realistic of the title. But it would have been nice to get them some help, right? Like, Robbo is flagging big time. Like, everyone just seems, some of the players just seem a bit tired, dude.
So we'll get into the individual chat, especially around the game and everything else. And all right, so you've shared your opinion on the things, and I must admit, at half time, I managed first time I've been to the City Ground. First and foremost, the atmosphere. People talk about sort of Stoke on a midweek. Can you do on a Stoke on a midweek? I tell you what, this was proper Barclays. This was proper prime time Barclays. Wednesday night, was it Tuesday night or Wednesday night? Tuesday night, and they hate us. You're at an away ground where they hate us. Ferocious atmosphere, not a friendly. When you go to Brighton, it's a friendly atmosphere. When you go to Southampton, it's a mild atmosphere. None of these grounds are intimidating. None of these crowds are intimidating, and the whole vibe around it is just one of those, let's turn up, rock up, and we should win. Forest, we knew we had to roll our sleeves up. It was literal war out there. People, the experience was I must admit, a riveting experience. It's like proper away ground, and you can sense the old, not now, and obviously I'm appealing probably to the elder statesmen, the old rivalry and the heritage of a Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest game of football, and you could see it. And you know what? I was very worried and concerned, and everything that you've discussed went through my brain. And the 15-minute interval, I didn't move from my seat. My mate said, "Come on, let's go and grab a coffee tea." I said, "You go and do what you got to do, have a piss, whatever, blah, blah, blah." I don't know what I just saw. I don't know what I just saw.
It was concerning, bro, like you said.
Like there's a title to be won, right?
And there's no energy. There was lack of ideas.
And there's also a title to be lost in the not most embarrassing, but it will be embarrassing if we lost it from the situation we find ourselves, especially with no City on the horizon, right? But Gags, that second half performance for me, and yes, sometimes us fans are fickle, but that's what we are. We're emotional human beings that watch our team, every minute, every game, and we react accordingly, right? What we see, we react to. That's what we do. And Gags, by the end of the game, I bounced out of the Forest ground, only with a point, but with a performance. And I tweeted it, and I said, I was dejected. I didn't know how we're going to score a goal. Never mind create a chance. I didn't know what a chance looks like as a Liverpool fan. And then, Gags, that second half performance, for me, it revitalized my hope and my energy. And I think it will have and should have revitalized the players and the coach, because we were magnificent. Every piece of content that I've seen since then, from all the brilliant Liverpool podcasts and all the people that do great work, suggested that Nottingham Forest haven't been terrorized like that this season and won't be terrorized like that this season. The amount of energy, chances, everything that we put into that. And the goalkeeper, when Jota, when he made that save from Jota, I just thought that was the moment almost I had one hand on the title. I mean, it fell to Jota. Jota could have scored a hat-trick in 10 minutes. I know ifs, buts, and maybes, but you've got to look at the context and the overall situation. Now, moving on to the scenario of what we said. Shout out Harry Sethi of Anfield Index, of course. Great contributor of Anfield Index. He tweeted me. What's the other one? Sky B. He Sky B'd me. I don't know what the word for that is. But he messaged me on there and he said, "How's the squad management? I saw you on Gag Show. How's the squad management planning going?" The litmus test comes in the next 3-4 weeks, what we planned. I think it's still going well, Gags. There is only Joe Gomez who is injured, and he should be back 4 weeks, let's just say. Everyone else is fit and healthy. We have 2 games in the next 4 weeks that we don't need to play anyone. Like you said, that means 1 game a week. I'm back on the positive, and I'm.
But will he do it? But will he do it in the Champions League? Will he do it?
That's a different question, and we will address that accordingly, because we don't know. We don't know whether he is or whether he won't. But I think he's done it. I think the FA Cup was finally rotated. And I think Brentford, we always knew Forest away and Brentford away within the matter of 3-4 days will be a turning point of sorts of the season, defining of sorts. So let's see how we get on. But yeah.
So Mo Mohammed says Diaz and Jota missed training.
They're absolutely fine. Mo, stop the panic. They're absolutely fine. They've done individual sessions. This is all part and parcel of the new regime. This is what I mean. It's all part and parcel of this new regime's techniques and philosophies and how they do play management. Workload management. So, look, guys, I know Gags is a little bit down and worried, and I was, but I'm rejuvenated with that second half performance. I thought it was one of the best performances this season. I just thought we were magnificent, taking into consideration the atmosphere and what we were up against. It wasn't easy. I've never seen a low block like that, Gags. I've never seen a low block like that. It was special low.
Oh, they're good. They're good, but it shows you second half. Everyone can get had that, nerves just kick in for people. The players can, whilst they're confident, it's fine. As soon as they concede something, it can dissipate like this. And that's the same with our players, right? When they're on a run, it's good. We're not on a run at the moment. Then Saturday at 3 p.m. just becomes a massive, massive must win. I just can't imagine a draw there, man. Like, I just can't imagine what it'll be like.
But this is what I said when we had a chat a couple of weeks about last week, I think, or maybe the one before. I was talking about sort of draws being damaging. Like, even if not worst case scenario, the worst case scenario would be 2 defeats. Second worst case scenario is 2 draws. Third worst case scenario is 1 defeat, 1 draw. You get 3 points. So draw is the second worst result. Like, people might say, "Oh, tough. We've got a draw at Brentford." That would be an awful sequence of results because that's 2 draws. That's only 2 points. I would rather we've lost to Forest and then got 3 points against Brentford. The aggregate has to be more than 2 points over the two games.
At the moment, it's 5 points out of 9 from the last 3 games. So
it is what it is. This is the toughest period in our fixture list, apart from the last 5. So we always knew this is going to be hard. We've got Bournemouth away after Ipswich at home on the horizon as well.
Yeah.
So this set of 4 games was always going to be season defining, in my opinion. But look, it ended up with a draw. I was happy. You're not so happy. You seeing your forecasting or your experience tells you that players could be dwindling, right? And obviously one of them is Andrew Robertson. So there is a discussion to be had.
Well, there's a discussion on him. There's a discussion on Mo as well, because Mo, since this turn of the year, not been the same either.
It was one of his worst games. It was one of his worst games.
Well, there's links to Saudi now as well today. That's not going to come up out of nowhere for no reason as well.
But I anticipated the Saudi links. I said the Saudi links will come. They have come out of nowhere, and there is, in my opinion, there's nothing to them. It's just Saudi seeing a gap in the market or that he hasn't signed, and we're more than willing to facilitate Mohamed Salah in the Saudi Pro League. He has no ambition or intention of going to the Saudi League, in my opinion, at this stage of his career. But his performance, Salah should have scored a goal. That it would have been like the chances he had. Salah should have scored.
Well, he woke up last 10 minutes as well. But the whole thing for the last 3 games or so, the touch has just not been there. There's something. Maybe he's not getting the deal he wants, and so that's affecting him now. Finally, so at the end of the day,
see, these stories are going to come out, but I can't myself.
Well, this is the risk LFC run right with this, and the fans are going to feel it. Any kind of dip from a player or 2 or 3, well, these 3, you're going to feel like, oh shit, something's not right with the contract, because that's the first thing anyone will think, obviously, especially for them 3. I think at the moment, let me put it this way. At the moment,
does that mean okay?
For me, Verge is the only one that looks like he's going to sign. That's what I think. From what I can see, or at least how I feel, it looks like Verge is the only one who's nailed on. Like, I would be happy to say, yeah, I reckon he's going to sign.
So you're basing that on the eye test of their physical performance, yeah, effort, and all of these things. So what are you basing it on? Because I don't understand what you're basing it on then.
Well, look at Trent's
Because
form in
in
the
that case,
last few
Trent had a
games.
far better game overall against Forest than he did against Man United and against
Overall, but it's still not back at his best yet. Nowhere near it.
I don't think
Mo has not
I don't
been
see
at
how
his
you can
best at
connect.
all so far for 2-3
I don't
weeks.
see how we can connect that to the contract situation. Because does that mean they were signing it 2 weeks ago
So,
we saw the performances?
well, I'll tell you what it means. The biggest thing is when January comes, right? So the risk of letting it run into January is this, because now they can see and they can speak and they can hear all the other contract offers that are coming in. Because the agent can just tell them this club's willing to pay you this club, if they,
I don't
yeah,
buy it.
it's the reality though. It's
I'll
the
tell you why.
reality though.
No, the reality is those conversations were taking place months and months before Gags. We're not
But
naive
players
enough.
might be like, I'm focused at the moment. I want to focus on this. I think we're going to sign. It's okay. But now Jan comes. Okay, I have to listen to everything.
I absolutely agree with the focus part. And it can be an excuse and it can be a reason, and fans will rightly or wrongly suggest that it's contract based. But what I'm saying is, for example, let's just say Trent and Salah put in a masterclass on Saturday. Will the positive guys say, "Oh, look, there you go"? They go over to the fans, clap them. Does that mean they're signing just because the week before they had a bad game? Trent didn't even have a bad game, by the way. I think the over analysis of Trent is awful. I think Salah had a bad game, but that's like how many bad games has Salah had this season?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
this is a good point. Salah does fade in the second half of most of seasons. Very rare does he go strong the whole season. Only the first one, maybe. But the last few, he has faded.
What's that down to? Age, amount of games
Yeah,
played.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mark saying Trent's the kind of player that will get distracted, not Salah.
I can get on board with that one. I can get on board with that one. I just don't think. Yeah, I agree with that. I disagree with your notion that it's contract related. I agree with you that
I'm saying it could be. I'm
it's a
saying it could
possible
be.
distraction. Okay, if you're saying it's a possible distraction that is not needed, I'm fully agreement. But to actually say that, I can't get on board with that myself. I just don't think, as it Mark, as Mark says,
Yeah.
He's too professional to be distracted. He has contract situations every 2 years and he plays magnificently throughout them and everything. I think Salah's in absolute control of his own destiny and he's calm. He just had a bad game. I think he had a shit game.
Yeah, the city says he's already got 30 goals and assists halfway. Prem record's 45. It was always going to slow down. He isn't Messi.
Yeah. He was always going to slow down. But look, moving on, I guess, from the Forest, the whole situation. Look, Robertson's situation is worrying.
Absolutely. Yeah, Robbo's just he's gone. It's gone. Like that's like the Hendo situation. It's comparable. It's like the Fabinho situation. So comparable to both of their drops.
Yeah.
Robbo's now got to a point where his legs are going.
I don't think they're as gone as Henderson and Fabinho's went completely. No. But I think they're on the wane. 100.
But I think what's affected him more is the confidence, Grizz. He's lacking some confidence, and so that's bringing the errors and the mistakes in his game. If Robbo was fully confident, he probably has that energy in him to actually give us a good performance. But
someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, or unless Gags. Am I right in thinking and suggesting Robertson hasn't got an assist this season in the Premier League? Can someone come back with that? Because that is a very confidence thing. There was one clearance he done yesterday, and I looked at my friend and I said, "Why do you think he done that?" And he said exactly what you said, because he's lacking in confidence. That was just a very amateurish, someone who's panicking, no one around.
League, no assists.
There you go.
And
I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't think he knows his game at the moment. I just don't think he knows his game. Like Robertson was always knew what his game was, right? He knew his limitations, but he knew his powers. He knew what he had in his armory, in his locker, right? Yeah. I just think he doesn't at the moment. I just think Yeah.
In the PL, it's none. But as Lasidi says, he assisted Gakpo for Madrid.
Uh,
What was
but
the
in the
Gakpo goal? Was it Madrid? It was from a distance, so it was like a. Or was the header? Was it the header? Yeah, I
must have
think it
been
was. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, nothing in the Premier League though, which is scary.
Scans, aka Big Man, says Robbo not gone. Just don't think he's got the legs to play every 3 days. This is the worrying part. He didn't play in the cup, did he? He was rested.
Mm, correct.
Simicast started.
Yeah.
But do you think Simicast is the answer?
Long term, no, not at all.
Neither do I.
I think he came. I mean, his assist record at Liverpool is incredible. Since Klopp joined, he's third, I think, behind Trent and Mo, which is mad. Like in terms of per 90 assists, incredible. So when he does play, he's more likely to create a goal than anyone else, apart from them too. So there's something in there for Simicast that at least from the corners we're getting something. This is the thing I'm surprised about. Like there was a glaring hole, Grizz, at left back at least. There is one at centre back maybe as well, or at least get a hybrid left back centre back. They're hard to find, but you could find one if you have a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company with a lot of highly paid people to do a job, and you don't always look for the right opportunity. You can see that I'm getting a bit negative about this right opportunity nonsense now. I've had enough of right opportunity. I don't want to hear right opportunity ever again, to be honest. There's a hole, go and fill it. You're going to top of the league, go and help your squad. They might be floundering. The manager doesn't like to rotate too much. If you look at the record, he doesn't rotate much at all, apart from really low games like Accrington Stanley, where his first time he rotated a lot. Maybe earlier rounds of the Carabao as well, but Champions League, there's no record of it. So if he does it for the next two, hats off. We're learning. But if he feels like a European manager, they're important, and maybe the club says, "Hey, these are important. We get $1 million per win or X whatever.
No
We need to play
chance.
this." I'm just saying, if it is,
I know what you mean. And you're right. If he does, then I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. That will be worrying and concerning. I'm so sure he won't. I'm so sure he won't.
No, I'm really hopeful. I'm really hopeful that he can see that squad needs the time. And you know what? We might get away with it. Like we might get away with not signing anyone if we follow that model of not overplaying this month, because it should get easier, I hope, in the coming months, where it's not like 9 games in a in a month, which is crazy. But
well, let's
not
get
getting a
well,
left back is
let's get into the links. So
chats. Yeah. Go for links.
So Kirkers, obviously, loads of people in the chat mentioning the Kirkers, right?
Yeah.
So let's have a chat about Kirkers with the help of the chat. Let us know what you guys think, because it was very important that you guys let us know what you think as well, and we'll bring it up. So Gags, Kirkers from Bournemouth. Obviously, Hughes will know him from his time. I believe Hughes is the one who signed him for Bournemouth. I think it's his third season, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's his third season in the Premier League. A very energetic, high octane type of fullback. Some would say very, very similar to a young Andrew Robertson. In the prime of his, not even in the prime of his career, still a young lad. Only his second Premier League season, which kind of is going to favor my opinion on him. His second Premier League season, Mr. Tandon, and you have approached Bournemouth and you have inquired about Kirkes. The player has interest from various other teams, including Manchester United, but he absolutely wants to come to Liverpool if there is an opportunity for him to come to Liverpool. But the club turn around to you and say, "Hi, Liverpool. Hi, Richard. Lovely to see you again. But we would like 50 million for Kirkes if you want him now." 50 million. Second season in the Premier League. Young, inexperienced, hasn't played at the highest level. International, yes, I think he's an international. Are you saying 50 million? Okay, no problem for a left
No,
back.
no, I wouldn't pay it.
Why not? You
Well,
just said
if there's
we need a left back. Go and
if
address
there's
it. Do what we got to do. Why have you
yeah, but
changed?
no, but if you're gonna go, if there's a player for 67 million available, that's world class. I'd rather go spend 67 million on that as well first. If you're going to be spending money and there's a deal to be done, you got to look at value too. If you're going to go for Kavicka, if you did go for him properly, 67 million is the deal. When you're looking at value of Kavicka for 67, Kirk is a 50. I think it's a bit lopsided, bro. If you're talking
My
about
brother,
opportunities,
my
you
brother,
know,
I'm with you. My brother, I'm with you.
yeah,
But I'm giving
yeah.
what we're doing here, guys, in the chat, and look, more people need to know what they think.
Mm.
Q says we are 50 million.
Here you go.
Aberdino
Here
says,
you
yeah,
go.
there you go. Different people have saying different things, right?
Yeah.
I'm in no way giving them 50 million for
Mm.
Kirkers for a couple of reasons. It seems like he is the one that's sort of we're favoring and sort of heads our list of fullbacks, left backs, okay? And we're going to get to a couple of other names as well, guys. I don't think his experience or what he's achieved so far in his career warrants anything close to 50 million. I think we value him at half of that. And I think that's a far, far more reasonable, sane price. So I'd rule
And
that out.
also, there are
I'd rule
other
that
left
out.
backs. Oh yeah, but there are other left backs that are worth 25 million and available for 25 million, if that makes sense. Okay, compared to him, that would have been
But
linked.
this goes back to that argument that we always have as Liverpool players, as Liverpool fans, or Liverpool try to tell us, but if it's our number one target,
Oh, he
Gags,
is. Okay. Is he our
right,
number one target? If.
it seems some suggested by reports today.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
get overpaying by 10 million maybe, but doubling the price.
but this is my point I'm trying to make, Gags. If he's our target, then we can't. And if I think it's quite unanimous that we agree that we don't want to pay 50 million for Kirkes. Then what do we do next? Do we go for the second, third option, like you're saying, the 25 million, possibly for other players, 30 million? Hato, I think, who should be very high up on our list. Jarrell Hato for Ajax. He's a hybrid of a left back and a centre back. Brilliant young player, again, very young, the future. And then there's my favorite, Nouri from Wolves, who has 18 months left on his contract. I think we could get him for circa 30 million, right? But again, summer. I know you said, and everyone's saying, go and get a left back, go and get a left back, go and get a left back. I've just told you, Bournemouth want 50 million. Wolves want 50 million. If you want to take their fullbacks in the middle of the season, whatever campaigns they are, Wolves in a relegation, Bournemouth in a Europa League spot, they want 50 million. We can't be paying 50 million for a left back in January, guys. This is my point. So it's easier to say, let's go and do this, let's go and do that. We've all agreed it doesn't make any sense, financial
I think
sense.
that's in the Premier League, though. You can go outside as well. You don't have to stay in the Premier League to get a left back.
So you're going to
I
go.
I think there's a tax. There's always a tax in the Premier League, dude. Once they're proving themselves in there, you get taxed like a. Yeah, I won't swear, but
agreed. Let's just say there is. Yeah, agreed. What I'm saying is now you're suggesting, and we're just going off by reliable reports, okay, of reputable news outlets that have come out in the last 24 hours, okay. If we are abandoning first choice, second choice, you're now saying let's go down to third, fourth choice for the sake of bringing a left back in January. I don't agree with that, Gags. I don't agree with it.
I'm not sure there'll be choices that are that far apart. I think when you do the modeling statistically, the players will be at that age, they'll be very, very close to each other. You know, even if they're abroad or here. I think what makes the ones that are in the Premier League more attractive is that they're playing against Premier League teams. So then that's why they're attracting that higher price. But you can get players showing that type of, you know, all of those statistics and those whatever the background knowledge, background they do on it in terms of numbers elsewhere too, or compare it to what these players did in the past and how it would translate, if that makes sense, into the Premier League, because you can do some predictive stuff on that too. I'm sure Brighton are doing that everywhere somehow because they seem to have the best model in football for in terms of money making scheme. We probably need to buy the whole team out, but unfortunately, it's owned by the owner itself. But yeah,
Chelsea have recruited a lot of their
yeah,
backroom
the
staff.
people as well, so they're trying to steal the ideas.
But
But
hey, it hasn't worked.
no.
So do you get what I mean? It's not a model, a structure may work for a certain club in terms of their ambition and their ceiling. It doesn't necessarily mean it can work
No,
throughout
I
for
agree.
everyone.
No, I
But look,
agree.
so the left back situation, I think we will see out January. I think we'll see out the season with the two options that we have currently. And maybe possibly let's not discount the option of Joe Gomez when he comes back as well as a defensive sided left back when he comes back in. I think he's probably the most defensively sound option right now, to be honest with you. There are games that we may put Gomez in there and then be able to give Trent a totally free role on the right, a total free role, and possibly play an extra attacker. So I think there's options. I don't think we go for a left back in January. And I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. There was chats, people asking us, Gags and Grizz, would you guys be happy if we didn't bring in a left back this January? I want to be happy. No, I want to be happy, but I'm not going to throw my toys out of the pram and shout. And that's me. Don't know what you guys think.
Well, as long as rotation's happening, and I think, to be honest, the left back role, it's not about rotation, it's about quality now, isn't it?
Quality. I agree.
So they are being rotated between them, but whenever Robbo seems to play, there seems to be a mistake. So I think we need to get Robbo's confidence up somehow to help us out till the end of the season.
He's an experienced player. He has to do it himself. He's an experienced player. He has to do it himself. And I don't know how, you're right. I don't know how it comes back magically. I guess a string of performances. He does come across as a very strong mentally strong player, but sometimes it's not about the mentality. Sometimes it's actually comes down to the physicality of, like you said, his body knows what he needs to do. He's just like a half a second too late in reacting or tackling. You know, like the penalty he gave away at, where was the penalty he gave away?
Quite a few. It was back to back, right? It was Madrid.
Back to back. Was it Brighton?
Brighton.
No.
Yeah, I think so. It was back to back, right? Brighton was the cup,
Mm.
and then Kelleher has saved. I think it was.
So look, with the left back situation now, of course, another report from, I believe it was the Daily Mirror. David Anderson was the journalist who seems to suggest that Arne Slot doesn't have any trust. I'm paraphrasing because I haven't read the actual article, so forgive me, guys. But the headline was Arne Slot doesn't believe in or trust in Kwanzaa. What are you thinking about that one?
It's very clear
because he didn't bring him on. He brought on Konate. He's managing his minutes, takes him off, but doesn't bring on Kwanzaa.
Well, I don't think
that was tactical.
I think that worked a treat. To be fair, this is where the positive side comes out. Is the manager for me?
Okay,
I love him. I think he makes it. You know, the only one thing that he got wrong was taking Trent off too late against United. Maybe not rotating enough against Spurs. 2 mistakes back-to-back games, little ones. But in this game, he saw it wasn't working, gave him a little bit more time after half-time, didn't see it, and then went all-out attack. And my God, did that work. Like, Grav, who was struggling for most of that game, ended up looking pretty good by the end of it because he was playing so well coming into centre-back and then going into midfield again. And I just thought VVD became a rock. He didn't start very well in that game, but ended up becoming pretty good. It became basketball, to be fair, but it suited us. And Forest looked tired as the game went on. They looked really tired.
This is my point, Gags. By about 60th minute, they were pulling out with crank. We battered them in that second half. They were hauled off the pitch. They were calling for physiotherapy and cold sprays or whatever.
Well, that was tactical as well, wasn't it, really?
Of course it was, but the play suggested it wasn't.
Yeah, the way they ran. Yeah, it was. They were slowing down. Like, even their fast players were like just jogging around the pitch. It's like they haven't been. That's playing. That's why the next day, I think it was Aina who came on and put a really funny Instagram or whatever
Yeah.
post up about shit. Like, yeah, we blocked him out and then we got battered, and then luckily our defense was so good we kept him out or whatever. But they knew they got lucky. They knew, and also I saw a lot of Forest fans tweeting, "Jesus Christ, this Liverpool team is the real deal,"
Yeah.
because I don't think they never felt that kind of domination against them for a long time in this
This is
season.
my
And
point.
so,
They have never
yeah,
been dominated this season like we did. It was
mm,
pure domination. As I said, a very, very difficult away ground. Now, Arsenal still have to go and experience that and deal with that. And I'm just saying it's not going to be easy, guys. We forget that they are on a winning run of 5 games in a row.
7 hours without conceding a goal.
Think about all these things, man. When we go on a little bit of a downer one. By the way, we have over 100 people watching. We are climbing up that upward curve. But the disappointment is there's only 20 or so likes. So
Come
that
on, bring the
ratio,
likes
not
home.
ratioing. So let's just hit that like
And
button.
there's
Literally takes a second.
1,700 over on Twitter. Please come on over to
Come on,
YouTube.
we're doing
I'm
that.
putting the
We're
on
doing that meme again.
YouTube.
Come on,
Yeah,
guys. Come on.
yeah. I'm Index TV on YouTube. You can find us very easy. Please come on over. We really appreciate it. And yeah, it's not as energetic as I usually like to be, but when
It's
when Liverpool
understandable.
when Liverpool are down, I'm down. That's just how my mood goes.
So
I'm one of
let's
those. You know,
So
I'm one of those.
let's we've discussed the negative connotations around Kwanzaa, Robertson, no left back probably coming in January. Let's go towards for the final second half of the show, like Liverpool in the second half. Let's chat
Mm.
G&G. Let's talk about the second half performances and the standouts, and obviously the substitutions you talked about. And you love slots, innovation, bravery with the
Yeah,
substitutions.
to go to keep all the forwards on. And well, actually, no. Did Diaz come off? Did Diaz come off?
Not initially. Not initially.
No, no. Who was there? Was two defenders off. It was Konate and Robbo. I
Yeah.
mean, that is just tells you everything, right? Okay, we're gonna mess with you now. We're gonna go for this, and it was fortunate that we scored after. I mean, it was brilliant from Simicast. It was a bit fortunate in terms of 20 seconds after the change, bang, and then we're all out attack mode with them. They just at that point the fans were dead, and their players were just like, oh shit, the writing's on the
They didn't
wall.
know what to do. Their plan
No.
A was only plan A. And it was
And
just
Grizz,
defend.
you know what this points to? We have to stop conceding the first goal in these games, because if it's 0-0 at that
So,
point, we're battering them. We are battering them. We need to stop the stupidness at the back, man. We
so
really do.
okay. I know I said let's go on the positive, but there's a question that we didn't address, or there's a
Go on
player
now.
that we didn't address, and it's
Ian.
Alexander Delos says, should we be worried about Allison? Now, I didn't get obviously on when you're at the game, the angles. Obviously, you don't know whether it was an amazing finish or was the goalkeeping angles a little bit suspect. Now, I turned around to the guys around me and I said, "Guys, did Wood really smash that in off his wrong foot from that angle against the greatest Premier League keeper? Like, what happened there?" And they said, "We don't know." I said, "I'm gonna have to go back and watch it."
Yeah, he passed it
What's
in.
your idea? What's your thoughts on the Allison? I don't think he's been amazing since his comeback.
He's not been good at all. I'm just trying to look for some of these stats in the chat at the moment in UP, but he's conceding too many goals. It's not his normal standard. But then he has a very high standard, so he's even 5% off of that makes him it just drops. So he's conceded 9 goals since he's come back in, and which is rare for him in what is it, 4 or 5 games, something like that. It's just
But
yeah.
we've discussed that the team looks slightly fatigued in the last month or so, right?
Hmm.
So that is related to the whole team as opposed to an Allison problem per se, right? Maybe
Yeah.
we're giving up more XG, higher XG. I don't know. Maybe you can check it out on one of your stat shows. Um, and let the experts let us know and tell us that. But from the eye test, it suggests to me that we are, because of the lack of rotation or the Gravenberch playing every single game, etc., etc. Virgil playing every game, Robertson not being rotated enough because Simicast was out injured. Maybe the chances we're giving up are of a higher XG nature. Maybe it's not down to Alisson per se; it's just a team problem.
It might be. I don't think we're conceding too many biggies. We're just conceding the one or two and then getting punished. That's the problem. And I think we, normally he's clutching those situations and he saves us. And at the moment, that's not quite happening, if that makes sense.
Is one way of looking at it, and guys, let us know in the chat. I was thinking this yesterday. Is one way of looking, because I said it at the game, is one way of looking at it, when was Alisson's last? Wow, what a save.
My God.
Can anyone remember? Can anyone recall? Because that's what
this is it. That's what I was looking for. Dude, he's conceded 15 shots.
He's conceded 9 goals, 15 shots.
From the 15 shots, yeah. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate that. That's what I was looking for. Or 9 of the 13. It's either that or 9 of this one. Conceded 9 of the 13 shots faced, which is even worse. At the end of the day, that's just not Ali's level. He's even the best of finishes he saves. That's why he's that good. So, I mean, his last wow.
I asked the question. Wow, save
says Girona. That's a long time ago, man. When was that? Right at the start of the season?
No. There's been I'm sure there's been a wow save since then. I just can't remember at the top of my head. So can we then, in the same line, in the same subject, praise the recruitment and the foresight in the recruitment and the analysts? And now we understand the reason why they've gone big on Mamadashvili in mid-season, at the start of the season, when we didn't need him right now. We've got Keller and Alisson, but they've seen or this forecast this dip in Alisson. Maybe we should praise him.
I don't think that's true. I think Kelleher was going to go next year, no matter what, because he said he wants to go for a few seasons now. He's wanted to go and be first choice. Luckily, Ali's been getting injured a lot, so he's been getting enough first team action to, keep going. But I actually thought Mamadashvili was coming in because Kelleher was going to go. Now it might not be the case. Now it might be that.
I disagree. I disagree with that. The reason why I disagree with that is because Mamadashvili is a fully fledged international, one of the most sought after keepers in European football. We know Man City were looking at him. We know there was another big team looking at him as well. Bayern Munich looking at him. I don't think he's coming to be number 2.
Oh no, he won't be. But that point, if he's worth it, and he's basically he's performing in training, he'll be number 1, and Ali will be number 2. If Ali plays like this, he's always gonna be number 2. He should be number 2 to Kelleher right now. I mean, it's
I'm
not getting a start.
I think we're underrating with bashing, and sometimes right. In fact, we shouldn't bash our analysts and our data analytics team because they can only suggest players. Obviously, it's the owners and the sporting directors, the football directors that have to get the deals over the line. But I think our analysts and people that look for the players are top notch. And I'm willing to give them credit for finding us Mamadashvili and knowing that Alisson, I think they forecast this dip. Just look, Gags, we have to be realistic. In all of the legends that we've had in the last 7-8 years, they're all hitting that downfall now.
They are.
Apart from Salah and Virgil. Right? And that will come as well. So Salah, Virgil, so we know Henderson, Gini, Mane, Bobby, Robertson, all of them, right? They all went down. Fabinho in the last 2-3 seasons. I think Alisson's on that slippery slope as well now, and it's just normal and it's naturally.
You can't argue with the numbers right now. I'm surprised Kelleher's not had a start, but Mark's saying Kelleher has been great, but he's no Alisson. You'll die on that hill. But you know what? You can't also argue that Kelleher only made one mistake after a 20-game run of no mistakes, and he got shipped out. And this guy is not saving many shots, costing us points now. To be honest, a mad goal, it literally kind of went through him. Like the equaliser at United, we were winning against United, at Anfield. It wasn't a hard shot to save.
I think I think Alisson is it's natural. I think let's just accept it for what it
Yeah.
is. And let's just look forward to Mamadashvili stepping in, I believe, to be our number one next season, which is fine. But as I
Yeah.
said, let's go back to the other end of things. Like you said, I think it's okay. Nunes is suspended for this,
Mm.
but I don't think Nunes would have started. He may have been brought on, but I think it's very fair. And I don't know if you agree, but I think it's fair on my part to suggest I don't think Slot is a fan of Darwin Nunes, and I think Darwin Nunes is definitely off in the summer.
The most obvious. I think you can say that for a few players.
Go on.
Doesn't rate Kwanzaa. Doesn't rate Elliot. Not too much of a fan of Endo. So you've got 4 players there that look like they might not be here in the summer. To me.
Wow.
To me.
I'm ready to hold fire on Elliot. I get it. The evidence is stacking up.
No. I
Yeah.
like Elliot. I'm
I do
saying
as
the
well.
manager doesn't like.
Agreed.
I'm not saying I wouldn't sell him. He's a young player coming through the ranks. Actually, when he gets a chance, maybe plays in the 10 or in that further forward. Like he didn't play very well when he came on or the other day when he played against the other club, the lower league club. I don't think he had a great game, but his confidence might be a bit hit as well because he's not getting much game time. So though if he plays with the big boys in the front 3, and he plays behind Mo and Diaz and Gakpo, whatever, I think he's got a great left foot, can find anyone with a pass. He's got such ability on the ball. Problem is, he doesn't suit Slot, I think.
At the
So
moment,
not
at
got
the moment,
pace, not got
so
the energy in midfield because Dom's going back and forth all the time, and Curtis has got legs back and forth. I know Curtis is a bit tired now as well, but yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he's got the same attributes that Slot is looking for in that third.
So I agree. The evidence is stacking up, and obviously I can't bring up the comments, but Blue Chip TV says talk on Elliot, please, Grizz.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
So look, the Harvey Elliott situation, the evidence is absolutely in what people are suggesting about Slot. Doesn't seem to rate him. The evidence is stacking up. But my theory or my opinion on Harvey Elliott is not everyone, and we do this a lot, Liverpool fans. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, we do this a lot. And I'm probably dragging you into that as well. No, actually, no, you're not. You're not. I'm not dragging Gags. We always think that everyone has to be a starter, otherwise he has to be sold. No. I don't believe that is reality. Reality is you have to have, and we can go all through the Man City teams, the Man United teams, the Chelsea teams, where squad players are vital and squad harmony is vital. And when you've got young, not homegrown, but young, come through the ranks type players like Harvey Elliott, who are very happy to be part of a very happy squad, never moan, never groan, never go to the press, but yet are very good players, just not starters. I don't feel the tantrum and the need to just always say sell. He's gone. Keep them. Yeah. It's a squad game. Now, you're spot on. And people that are talking about Harvey Elliott not being at the club, I get it. I personally will hold fire on that, though. I think he's happy to be there. I don't think he will force a move away, and I don't think we'll actively look to sell him. But obviously, if we get a deal that we can't say no to, then that's a different story. And I think there'll be a whole host of clubs that would love to take Harvey Elliott for us.
I think so. I
wouldn't read it. But Nunes is a different story.
Nunes is a gunner. Like that guy. I think in every way he's a gunner. Like he gets more chances than all the others that aren't fancied because our forward line needs to be rotated. Yet he still can't bring himself. I mean, he gives everything in the game, 100%. Gives 100%. He runs and runs. But he has zero confidence.
Did you not, and chat guys and girls, did you watch Robbie Fowler's assessment of him?
No, tell me.
Oh my God. So Robbie Fowler gave a brilliant little 3-4 minute segment on Darwin Nunes. And if anyone knows anything about goal scoring, it's Robbie Fowler. All right? If anyone knows anything,
we grew up watching that guy.
He was, and I've seen a whole heap of strikers. For me, and I'm putting even Suarez in this category, he was the best finisher, the most natural, gifted finisher I've ever seen in my life. He was elite. But anyway,
And we'd
he
seen Rush. We'd seen Rush before that.
he suggested, Gags, that Darwin Núñez, you're looking at his third season now, and we're still talking about the work rate and how hard he tries for Liverpool. He goes, "Are you serious? You're the Liverpool number 9, and you've been brought for 80 million euros, right? And we're still discussing, oh, he gives it his all." He said, "Come on, you've got to be better than that." And he just says he doesn't seem in sync with the rest of his team. He doesn't seem in sync with Slot's tactics and what he requires and wants. But then obviously there was slight rumors in this week about a supposed bid. Obviously the club turned around and said no. Well, the club's journalists came out and said there was no such bid. There is interest from Saudi. I'm going to ask you, Gags, if an offer did come, and obviously it didn't, but if an offer did come of 70 million in January, what would you have done?
I would have
in the middle of where we are now.
I would have taken him personally. I would have drove him there. I would 70 million is a return. He's worth on the books 40 million amortized, however you say the word. So that's a profit. Like technically, not in football terms, how fans think about it, where it's like, oh, he cost us 80 million, we're going to get him. But from a finance and accounting perspective, that would have shown on the books a massive profit. So I cannot believe that they would turn down 70 million pounds for this man. They would just not a world that exists.
I completely agree with you. I think offers will come in the region of 40, 50 million for him in the summer, and I think we'll even accept that. I think he's gonna. Yeah. I would have accepted it as well. I'm going to be honest with you, but I don't think there was an offer. I think there was just queries and questions. But let's see. Now, obviously, someone probably on the opposite spectrum, and I'm praying and hoping that he stays fit, is Diogo Jota, Gags. I believe if Diogo Jota stays fit for 75% of the season, we win the league. I
love him to bits. I think one thing he needs to stop doing, right, is running into people. That's all he needs to stop doing, because he's got the finishing touch. That's enough. When you're pressing people, press them up to like a meter away from them. You do not need to jump on them. You do not need to run into their legs, and you do not need to fall on them and then get their knee stuck in your rib. You don't need to do any of that shit, Jota. You're fantastic. We love you, but we do not want you to keep getting injured. And the last 2 or 3 times you've got injured is because you're either falling on someone or someone's falling on you. It's got nothing to do with your muscles, which seem to be great now. And that was the problem before. We got over that. Stop running into people, Jota. Please. We love you. We want you to stay healthy and win us the league. For God's sake, man.
Listen to that Gags tandem rant, Jota. It was heartfelt. It was come through it came through from a place of love.
Absolutely.
We need you to stay fit and healthy. So we don't mind if you pull out of tackles. But then the thing is, Mohamed Salah pulls out a tackle, we went mad.
You can't take him. But that's not his game. That's not his game. So Mr. Wass says that's his game. You can't take away his strength. No, his strength is putting the ball in the net. His strength isn't bulldozing people. Like, Gags, what does he do with the bulldozing?
Gags, in your opinion, what is it about him that, like, on the face of it, and let's be brutally honest, he's not the quickest. He's not the most aesthetically speaking, pleasing.
He's got a good ball dribble, though. He's got a good speed with dribbling. Like, he has got a very good speed with dribbling.
He's direct.
Like, very direct, and he's a good dribbler. He's got good skills. Have you seen in the box? The guy reminds me of Robbie sometimes. In the box, just with the turns and
don't
shit.
Don't go there. Robbie was my
little bit, because did you see what he did to that team?
The ability to make
make his own space. Yeah, he's fantastic at it. We just need him to starting more. God, who are we getting on now?
Klopp sipping Arsenal tears says Jota has IQ. That's his biggest strength. I was going there. I think his footballing IQ is elite. So his physical attributes are elite. He's quite
No.
strong. His pace is an elite. I don't think his technique is elite, but his footballing IQ combined with very good other attributes.
You're probably disservicing his technique because the finishing is good. So that
Not
means
elite
technique.
though. Not elite though. I'm
Not
saying
elite.
I'm saying all his
Heading's
other
elite,
attributes are good.
Heading's elite.
I want to say elite. Elite is elite.
Dude,
man.
he gets
I'm
up
very
there,
good.
man.
No. Hold on. I'm saying they're good. His
Hmm.
attributes. I'm not dissing on his other attributes. They're very good.
Hmm.
They're good.
Hmm.
Elite is elite though. I think
Yeah.
footballing IQ is elite. So everyone has an elite attribute. If we're talking that everyone has an elite attribute, none of his other attributes I would call elite, apart from his footballing IQ. I'd say he's got very good heading. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good ball striking. Very good knack of making space in the box. I get all that, but I think his footballing IQ is absolutely elite, Gags. And if he stays fit, the downside to that, Gags, I'm gonna say it now. If we have to rely on Darwin and Diaz, who I know we've spoken about Salah, but I thought Diaz is having a bit of a dip in form as well. If we have to rely on Darwin and Diaz, which I want to come to, Diaz in this new role, we discussed it briefly. We're going to end the show about the Diaz scenario in terms of the position that he's been picked and selected in. Surely it's just experiment.
We thought it was coming back with Spurs, didn't we? We thought it was like, when we scored the 6, we thought he was turning a corner, but he's gone back to what he was pre that game again now. And I think maybe, he's been trying to play Diaz every game. I think that goal might just get Jota back in the game, back in the team up front now.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
And now Diaz can maybe start rotating on the left again, always Jota when needed. So we might start seeing Diaz on the wing, making comfortable and feeling a bit more comfortable again. But to be honest, as well, some teams, Man United, low block, Spurs, when they didn't have the ball, tried to do low block, but they're not really a low block, are they? We didn't. What the hell happened in that game? We didn't do nothing in that game, man, against them. Just stupid. And then really, Forest, once they scored, complete low block. So
even before they scored.
And ACDC says Diaz head's gone. He gets 50K a week and is not happy with his contract. Well, I wouldn't.
Look, I'm not gonna let guys. Let's not. I know Gags put that in the atmosphere. I don't want everything to be contract related, man. Come on, guys. It's not everything isn't contract related. Like Gags is a little bit naughty by doing that, and you guys are all jumping on it. It's not. It's everything.
It's a reality, man. It's a reality, Grizz. If you work for someone, and listen, there's people that work for you who think they're unfairly treated wage-wise, their performance is going to dip a little bit until you show them that you care about them, that you're going to do something for them.
Effort will dip. No, I don't think the performance would dip. I think the effort would be visibly obvious. Diaz ran his socks off. He just wasn't good. Salah ran it. Trent ran it. I saw Trent sprinting back. Guys, by the way, I was there and I was focused on Trent. Trent sprinted back every single time he ran forward for a set piece, for a corner, for an attack. He sprinted back. So do I suddenly say, oh, look, Trent is happy with the talks now? Because look at the way he's sprinting back into his position. No, it's just players have bad games and they had a very bad first half. An awful first half. And everyone had an awful first half, not just the contract situation players. But look, at the end of the day, we have a huge game coming up. A massive, massive game. And me and you were discussing about the aggregate that we need to get over the next 4 games. And we kind of said 10 out of 12 out of Forest, Brentford, Ipswich, and Bournemouth.
Needs to be 12, bro.
Well, it can't be because we drew against Forest.
Sorry, you mean Forest. Sorry, I meant the 4 after now. The next 4 have to be 12 out of 12. The next 4 have to be 12 out of 12, bro. I don't care. Because there's a chance that Arsenal drop points in the next 4.
Yes, I agree with that.
So we've got to we just got to do the job. The first thing is, let's not look too far ahead. Saturday, it has to be 3 points, brother. They got Villa at home, and did you see their XG? against
Oh,
Spurs.
you sent it to me, yeah. Oh no, someone sent it to me. Sorry.
0.08 XG on target, and they won that fucking football game.
Oh, the referee, that corner. I mean, my head was gone. Obviously, we done the big six watch along the mobs from Turkish house. It was fantastic at halftime. Not halftime. When Spurs scored, I thought, hello, this could be an amazing evening. How they like that corner, and then the keeper turns to shit. Remember, he was man of the match against us, and
Yeah, his
phenomenal.
passing in this one, it was fucking mental. Swore there, shouldn't have swore, but hey.
Arsenal don't even have to be brilliant to beat Spurs.
No, and look, we lost to them 1-0 last week.
But it was,
and you're telling me nothing's wrong? You're telling me everything's fine and dandy?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying nothing's wrong. I'm saying nothing's wrong. I'm saying nothing's wrong. And I'm also saying everything isn't right.
I get it.
So look, there's a balance, there's a perspective. We are still 4 points clear with a game in hand. People, I hope you've enjoyed another episode of Chat G&G. Time flies when me and Gags get on the mics. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed it.
And we've been disagreeing today as well. And we've been, it's been good.
I think and you know what? I think we may I like it. I like it. We're disagreeing now because you're going down a certain angle.
Negative route. You can say it. You can say it. I'm going negative.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you reveal it in your opinions.
Look, man, I feel what I feel. Liverpool
I tell you what, guys.
I'm like any other Liverpool fan out there. I want us to win, and I want us to win the league, and I want the club to support the players and the manager in the best way possible to try and just get us over that line now. That's all. That's all I want. It's nothing. I'm not a transfer mentalist like that. I don't get desperate over them. But when the club and when the players and the manager needs it, I just think we should do a little bit more. And your reasonings were all good. I get it. Might not be the best time, but there's got to be a deal out there, bro. There's got to be one.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm just playing devil's advocate of how the club may perceive it. That's all I'm saying. Mr. Wah says, I joined late, gonna have to wheel it up. Guys, let us know in the comments under the video in the YouTube section what you guys think. Are you half glass empty about this rest of the season, or are you half glass full? Let us know what you guys think and how we've been so far. I hope me and Gags have given our perspectives and sort of tried to back up with our own opinion, back up our opinions with our own perception of things. But yeah, look, until next week, where we will have played Brentford away. We will see where we are. I think there's Champions League next week as well that comes back. Again, all eyes will be on the lineup. All eyes will be in the lineup.
All I'm focused on in that game is the lineup. I'll be reacting post-match to the lineup more than the game.
More than the result.
I won't give a blind focus. Sorry.
No,
I really want,
bro. I get it.
I just want us to win one of the big two. Please, just bring us back to where we belong. Just us fans didn't get to enjoy it last time. There's a bigger thing at play here. There's a bigger thing at play. Yeah, Liverpool need to be successful. The player needs to be successful. But the fans missed out. We missed out. The one time we won it in 30 years, we couldn't celebrate it properly. We had to celebrate it behind screens on Zoom with each other.
100%.
Where's the fun?
Let's bring the fun back. Hope we brought the fun to the show. Make sure you guys have subscribed and like if you haven't already. I'm hoping we've got over 50 likes. I did make a little request. Let me double check and see how you guys have done in the like section. Let me see. Let me see.
Appreciate that.
Have we 7 away? Guys, we're 7 away. Come on, 7 of you can do a small favor and like before you go.
Please.
And little figures, little what's the word? Targets that we're reaching, milestones, and we're growing. And I hope you're enjoying. But yeah, I think Gags introduced the show. I guess I'll end the show. This has been the G&G show. Hope you guys chat G&G. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Until next time, it's good night from him and it's good night from me. Take care.
Bye.